Hey everybody, it's James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and today I'm going to show you how to play Let It Be using no chord shapes. So we're going to play the melody, and this is great if maybe you are working on some chord shapes, but you're not quite ready to play this song in its entirety, or you just want to take a break from that stuff. We're going to get out our pick. You could use your thumb too. And we're going to play this beautiful melody note for note. Really quick before we get started, if you need any extra help, I have a free ebook. It's free for all my subscribers. I'll put a link to that in the corner. It goes over all the basics and all that stuff. I also have a course, Learn Guitar Once and For All, that we can talk about a little bit later on. Now, as far as the melody goes, I'm going to break it down bit by bit. The first part that I want to teach you and for those of you that are a bit more comfortable playing this sort of thing, you're welcome to just skip ahead. At the end, I play through this entire melody with a metronome, so you can always just watch that, see how it goes. Otherwise, stick with me because we're going to break this down bit by bit, working out all the counting, when to do down and up strokes, so that it all makes sense. So we're starting out on the open G string, and then we're going to go to the second fret, and I'm going to play that with my middle finger. So let's just break down that little bit. We go, when I find, and that's down, up, down, all on the open G string. When I find, and then we're going to go myself, and for that it's O, 2, and I'm going down, up. So down, up, down, down, up. And in terms of the counting, we're starting on beat 4. So it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. So you can see the counting up there at the top. It's really important that you work that out. And if you're having trouble, of course, like getting the rhythm, right? Another really good way is to just say the words, to just go, when I find myself, and then just going, when I find myself, and just matching it up, right? Because if you can sing it with the rhythm, you can kind of just like borrow that singing rhythm and try to infuse that into your arm, So those are your two options, count it out, do it the technical way, or feel it out, singing it. It doesn't matter how the singing sounds. I'm not a good singer at all, and I sing a lot because it helps with learning music. The next part goes with times of trouble. So we're changing strings there. We're going to start off on the second fret of the D string. And then we go to the open G string again, times of, and then on the B string, we're going to play the first fret and the third fret, trouble. And once again, I'm going down, up for those notes. Anything that's close together, when I find, you got to use alternate picking or else, you get kind of spazzy, right? So we want to work on that a little bit, and in certain spots, make sure that we're using the correct picking. It'll help out so much. So trouble, 1, 3. Let's just try that. Once again, we're starting on the second fret of the D string. In times of trouble. And the counting, once again, we're starting on beat 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and I take a while to write this stuff out with all the counting and make sure it's all spaced out well, because music is on a grid, and if you take the time to learn melodies like this in a fun way, you can really lock into that rhythm without ever formally learning it, with all the notes and all that stuff. Anyways, let's just recap what we have so far. 1, 2, 3. Now the next part is Mother Mary comes to me. So we're starting on the thinnest string, and we're going to go down, up, down, open string. And then I'm going to play the third fret of the B string with my ring finger. And then 3, 1, 1 for comes to me. 3 and 4 and. And you can work on the notes, and then try to add some singing to help you sharpen up that rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mother Mary comes to me. And next, so for the phrase speaking words of wisdom, once again, we're starting on the open E string, down, up, and then 1, and then down, up on the open E string again, and then the 3rd fret of the B string. So down, up, 1, down, up, up. We can play that last one with a downstroke or an upstroke. I like doing it with an upstroke because it's on an offbeat, and that way we're following those rules of strumming. They're the same as the rules of picking. On all the numbered beats, you do downstrokes, and on the ands, the plus signs, you do upstrokes. And if you stick with that, your rhythm will always be locked in, whether you're strumming or you're picking notes. You know, it makes a lot of sense to do it that way. We'll recap that one more time. 3 and 4 and speaking words of wisdom. And finally, let it be. So, let it be. We start on the open E string, downstroke, then an upstroke on the 3rd fret of the B string. So you might want to practice that motion. Down, up, and then 3, 1 is another down, up. So we're going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And you just work through the notes, go at your own pace, and then we can add that to the last phrase. 3 and 4 and words of wisdom, let it be. So that's the entire verse. Next up, we have the chorus. You know, where it goes, let it be, let it be. And there's a lot more space here, so we're going to have to do some counting to make sure that we come in at the right time. Let it be, let it be. We're starting on the open E string, downstroke, and then an upstroke on the 3rd fret of the B string, just like we did before. And then we're going to do an upstroke on the 1st fret. So down, up, up. And we can count that out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And now for the next one, we're going to have to come up the fretboard a little bit. I'm going to put my first finger on the 3rd fret and my ring finger on the 5th fret of the thinnest string. And I'm going to go 0, 3, 5. So it's pretty straightforward, you know, just 0, 3, 5. Once again, we'll pay attention to the picking. We go down, up, down. And that lines up with the counting on beats 3 and 4. So we would count in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The next phrase is probably the trickiest in this whole song. It goes, so for that one, I'm starting on the 3rd fret of the thinnest string. We've moved back down, so our ring finger is on the 3rd fret. And we're going to play it 2 times. Down, up. And then I roll it down. So see, I'm rolling it down to the 3rd fret of the B string. 3, 1. And then I'm going to go on the G string with my middle finger, 2nd fret, 2, 0. And then I skip a string. I go to the thinnest string. And I play it open. So you might want to practice just that last little bit, those last 3 notes going on the G string, 2, 0, and then the open E string. And I would go down, up, down. And then when you add the notes before it, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you'll definitely have to practice that one a few times. Moving on, there's one phrase left. And we have already played that phrase during the verse. You know, instead of going speaking words of wisdom, now he says whisper words of wisdom, but the melody is exactly the same rhythm, same notes, same everything. So at this point, we have worked through all the little pieces of it. And if you don't feel ready, I want you to just watch this part. Hear the whole melody all together. Look at the counting, even sing along. Then go through the start of this lesson and work on every bit. I broke it down in little bite-sized chunks. I want you to practice each of those chunks, and then you'll eventually be ready to play along with me. I'm going to get out my metronome. I'm going to set it to 96 beats per minute. It's not too fast, not too slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. 3, 4. Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. And you might be wondering, well, what about the, and in my hour of darkness she is, and that is going to use the same notes, but just the rhythm's a little bit different. So once you learn this part, it'll be easy to just stick with that same melody, you know, in the muscle memory, but just sing the words a little bit differently, you know? And in my hour of darkness she is still a light that shines on me. Shine on till tomorrow, let it be. So I ended up playing the same notes, just the rhythm was a little bit different. I might have played a note like 2 times instead of 1 time, and so on, right? But I think it's better to keep it simple and just learn that snippet that we did with the metronome really, really well, and it won't take you too long to add that other stuff. That's it for this one. Unfortunately, I can't provide a tab because of copyright reasons and all that, but you're welcome to just go through this video. Everything's tabbed out very accurately. As far as getting extra help, I have a course, Learn Guitar Once and For All, that's designed to take people from like absolute beginner and turn them into confident strummers. So if you're interested in learning more guitar with me in a very organized way, I have a workbook, there's play-alongs, there's all sorts of stuff. You know, it's like a full-on curriculum, like over 100 lessons. I encourage you to take a look. There's a link down below. It also comes with access to my private community where you can not only interact with other people taking the course, but me as well. You know, I will answer your questions myself. So that's a great way to kind of get that two-way street. Because, you know, on YouTube, I can't hear you right now. You can hear me, but I can't hear you. And this is how I can get around that and help you, you know, get better at guitar. So please check that out. Otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy learning guitar with me. And if you have already subscribed, I do sincerely appreciate it. Have a fun time practicing. I'll see you soon.